Hello and welcome to your in-depth weekly horoscope for week commencing the 19th of December for the Sun or the Ascendant. Thank you so much for joining me. If you've yet to subscribe to my channel, I'd be honoured if you did so now. But in this festive week, it really is a celestial blockbuster because on Tuesday, Jupiter, the planet of growth, of optimism, and traditionally in astrology of good fortune, returns to the go-getting, energized and fiery sign of Aries. Now on Wednesday, we have the winter solstice. This triggers the beginning of the last four cardinal quadrants, and this takes us through to the spring equinox, which will occur in March. So the flavour of this particular event, particularly as it also sees the Sun move into Capricorn for the first time in 11 months, but square up with Jupiter, is critical to this week's influences. This is kind of repeated on the back of the new moon in Capricorn, which occurs on Friday. But we also have Venus forging a really sparkling angle to both Uranus and the North Node. So there can be some surprise developments that could thrill some of us this week. And on Christmas Day itself, the Sun in the sign of Capricorn makes way for the moon moving into Aquarius, which in turn forges a lovely sextile to Jupiter, and that really can create some extra bonhomie. So please stay with me for each of your zodiac signs, but if you would like to understand what year will hold for you as an individual, please give me 3 pieces of personal birth data, of time, date and place of birth, and I can produce your forecast for next year. Plus in my special package you will get a PDF of your Chinese, your Vedic and also Western tropical zodiac forecast, as well as 30% off. You can get your life roadmap, your character analysis. Please see the link beneath this video for more. So Gemini, your week commencing the 19th of December forecast starts off with the Sun inching towards its exit from the sign of Sagittarius, but it is forging a square with the ruling planet of Sagittarius, Jupiter, which in turn is inching towards its exit from the sign of Pisces. So as you come into Tuesday, Jupiter repositions into your 11th house. Now, through to the 16th of May, this can give you an opportunity to develop a network, to expand your friendships, to perhaps embrace some of your higher ideals when it comes to your longer term future. But that will really pick up momentum from the 14th of February when it emerges from its post-retrograde shadow. But this week also sees on Wednesday the winter solstice and the beginning of Cardinal Quadrant 4. This is a mightily important event in the astrological calendar. The tropical Western calendar divided into 4 quadrants, 13 weeks each. Now for you, the arrival of the Sun on this event in Capricorn, joining up with the rather svelte energies of Venus, but also your ruler Mercury, is really interesting because the 8th house is very deep, very transformational. At a spiritual level, it can see where things are changing and evolving right down to the very roots of our being. But in a more prosaic, practical level, it can be anything to do with grappling with our longer term finances or those that we share with others, particularly very closely. The 8th house can also be to do with intimacy. And Venus is going to end this year in an embrace with Pluto, the planet of change, but also this is a very intense and potentially sexual combination. So something's going to be coming into your world next year that can be very life-changing, potentially, Gemini. But of course Mercury, your ruler, is in its own pre-retrograde shadow during this week. So if you are trying to grapple with a practical financing problem, whether it's to do with a mortgage or some kind of loan or an insurance or share issue matter, then scrutinizing the details will be important. But the square between Jupiter and the Sun, the 11th, 8th, can also flag up where you feel there may be some heavy psychological energies around your friendships. Is it feeling as if someone is putting some kind of leverage on you or has some kind of expectation? Is there some kind of control or possessiveness? Or is it you that's caught up with these very potent emotions and that's clouding your view? With Jupiter, we get amplification. With the 8th house, we get intensity. So something can be amplified that's very important to you. It could be an attraction to someone. It could be something that you're very invested in from an emotional or even spiritual or even creative viewpoint. So deep stuff for sure. But Venus forges quite the alliance with Uranus and the North Node in your 12th house. So they could create a spark of awareness or an insight which really can give you a lot of excitement for how you can work this energy going forwards. But is it also possible that someone's attraction to you, which may have not been manifested in a particularly open way, maybe that's set to become much more obvious? Then again, because of the secretive nature of the 8th house, is someone going to reveal that interest through some non-verbal communication, through their body language? Whatever the case, Jupiter's set to amplify it. But let Jupiter amplify the best part of your being, the best part of yourself, because the 11th house gives you an opportunity to really claim some higher truths that are really good. And the 8th house can at times draw us towards things, whether it's our attitudes, our desires, our impulses, which aren't always so healthy. Now later in the week, we are going to see the new moon, and the moon in Capricorn is at its weakest point in its journey. So if there is something that's a bit negative around you, the moon here, particularly because Saturn rules the sign of Capricorn, maybe you need to understand your own motivations a little bit better. But it does still square up with Jupiter. So for good or bad, things are going to be revealed, the 8th house, by the openness, I feel, of Jupiter. And it could be that someone's actually going to reveal to you that they've got a crush on you, or it could be that someone's going to be a little franker with you about how they see a particular topic, but they could be right to the nub of the matter, which actually can be really valuable, but also can feel a little bit dislocating. Now on Christmas Day, I hope you have a great time. If you are choosing to spend the day alone and you're fine with it, I hope you still enjoy your day. If you're someone who's not choosing to spend it alone, you will be very much in my thoughts. But Jupiter forges a really lovely, uplifting link to the moon in your sister air sign of Aquarius. So there could be a call, someone could come to the door, there could be a last minute invite which could bring with it some bonhomie.